All right, what's going on, guys? I think I have enough of you in here to get this started. So let me share my screen and then get this going. All right. So the name of the stream: Why Mulatto content creators need to up their game. Why mulatto content creators need to up their game. Basically, what I'm saying in simple terms, up their game is produce more content, essentially. Produce more content. Promote the mulatto identity, promote the mulatto plight, showcase mulatto history, promote our wins. That is essentially what I'm saying. And the title of the video, I'm going to react, give a response to this video. It says light skin YouTubers and why they don't last. This video was published, I think, 4 years ago. Yeah, I liked it. I saw it today. 4 years ago. Someone shared it earlier today. I found it on someone else's page and I watched the clip. I was like, wow, they're spot on. Their analysis is spot on. So I want to talk about it right now. And but what I'll say, I'll give a disclaimer up front. There's a difference between someone who is mulatto, biracial, versus someone who is light skinned, African American. Complete difference. There is overlap. And that overlap is what we see and what we face within the African American community. The difference is biracial mulattoes, we can just basically take a step back and exit the black community. We're like, hey, we see what you people are doing with the Kendrick Lamar, fan base and crowd, the not like us, anti biracial man audience. We see what you people are doing. So we can basically just take a step back and be like, let's get away from them, right? That's the difference with us, biracial men, mulatto biracial men versus the light skinned African Americans. They can't leave the black community because that's their people. That's their dark skinned brothers and sisters, right? So they can't leave them. They're stuck with them. They have to learn how to deal with it. That's the major difference. That's the main schism that we see. The difference between biracial mulatto men and a light skinned African American. And I know that it's been going on for a minute, especially now. I mean, with guys like me, with the promotion of this mulatto identity, with this biracial think tank promoting all of this, there's been a resurgence of this, right? Mulatto, uncovering mulatto history, thanks to the biracials out here. Okay. We've made it pop and made it cool to call ourselves mulatto. And you do have some people who are stuck within the black community who are lighter skinned, yeah, quote unquote, they're mixed race. Okay, their mixed race doesn't make them mulatto. Gotta let that be known. And I will continue to let that be known. And that's the most important thing. And so there is what we see now is there's a hijacking, there's kind of a coup, a co-opt attempt of people who are from the black community who want to escape the black community and they want to claim the mulatto identity. The difference between someone like me who's a biracial guy, I was never a part of you people in your community. You were thankful, you were lucky to have me around entertaining you people. I felt sorry for you. I pitied you people. That's why I was around you. And that's the standard mulatto, the men and the women, if they're honest with themselves. See, I'll jump up here on social media and be honest with you. A lot of biracial women and men and mulatto women and men, they're not going to be honest and say, like, they pitied you. They felt sorry for you people. That's why they identified with you. I am. I'll be publicly honest with you. I know El Blaxican guy, shout out to him, biracial dude. He was honest and told Ricardo, he's like, yeah, be honest with you. They felt sorry for them. They identified with them. They want to help them out, the pro whack, all that stuff. They felt sorry for them. Okay. But we're not a part of you people. We're not a part of your group. That's the main difference between a light skinned black American versus a mulatto biracial. We're not the same because we can easily just, we're already doing it right now. We're living it. We're developing our own situation. It's funny you have these saboteurs and co-opters who are coming in here trying to claim everything. We built it up from the ground up, man. From the ground up, uncovering history, culture, identity, this mulatto consciousness. We've built this from the ground up. And you got these Bantu butt kissers coming up in here trying to claim they're the real mulatto, and they're trying to like take it from us. It's so laughable. You people will all be exposed and dealt with. You'll be pushed to the side. We already know the game. You're Afrocentric, you're pro-black. Stay in your motherfucking lane. I don't care what you call yourself. You're light skin, you're mixed race. I don't care what you people call yourself. You're not mulatto. You're not mulatto identified. We are going to gatekeep this and we will check you. You will exit over there. Okay. This is a mulatto centered space. I've been doing this since day one. This has been the mission. This has been the goal, the operation from day one. So I see some of these people and I see a bunch of comments and whatever screenshot and I laugh, I chuckle. Like, you people think you're slick. You're a pro whack. You're black identified. The mulattoes over here, we're not interested. Okay. Let's get into this stream because the comment, this is 4 years ago, not the comment, the video, 4 years ago, put light skinned YouTubers and why they don't last. Now, this is the overlap. I'm going to be commenting, giving you guys my perspective, but the overlap with this light skin and this mulatto developing consciousness, there's an overlap. I'm going to get into this, especially here on YouTube, this platform specifically. Because I feel like if there's a lot of reach here on YouTube. I've reached a lot of people, like I said, other stream where it's like you can meet a lot of amazing people, build connections, build a network, meet beautiful people. But then on the flip side, you'll meet horrible people you wish you never came across. You're like, oh my God, you got this narcissist, bisexual, weirdo, stalker, fruitcake who's like following you all over. It's like weirdo people you run into. Okay, the negative end. But on the other end, the positive end, you run into positive people. You're like, hey, I like this person. I like this woman. Like, I want to build upon this relationship, this connection. These are good people. That's the interesting thing, especially here on YouTube. You run into that. So YouTube is an interesting platform. A lot of good can come from it, but then, of course, a lot of bad, as I've personally experienced both. And I want to listen to this person's commentary, light skinned lady. Okay, listen to her commentary. I'm going to give my commentary on her commentary. Let's check it out.
Salon Jones, and it's been a minute. I've been away for a minute, and I thought to do this video explaining why light skinned YouTubers in this sector of YouTube don't last very long. So, the people who watch me also watch other light skinned people in this community, and everyone pretty much knows what happened to their channels. Some got flagged down, others voluntarily left. And in this video, I'll be explaining why this tends to happen. So I'm going to start with what we're up against.
Yeah. The flagging parties, right? Or some people just leave, they whatever, that happens too. They just leave, they just bounce. They have other things to do. But the flagging parties, don't forget to flag your channels. Now, this is a video she made 4 years ago. Maybe it was more so a thing 4 years ago and prior, where they can have mass like flag campaigns and flag your channel. I think YouTube kind of got better at that with understanding what was really going on with certain creators. So they don't, it's a double-edged sword because there is censorship, there is certain checks within YouTube, but at the same time, they still will allow like these like sock puppet trolls and saboteurs to hop up on here and create accounts. But if they get out of bounds, you flag them and you can get them up out of here, which I've already done. There was a channel, who got uppity with me, and I checked them real quick and got them up out of here. I think they're still bitter about that. They created a whole nother sock puppet account trying to run a smear campaign on me. It's the same guy. Okay. So yeah, if they get out of bounds and they get out of pocket, they go against the community standards, you can get them up out of here. So I think for the most part, YouTube has some good standards, but they could fix some things too. More into that into the future.
There are a few things that make it difficult to stay on this platform, to put it bluntly. So, number one, angry nerds. This sector of YouTube has a revenge of the nerds theme, and nerds are very serious about hate and revenge for some reason. And I think we know this, and I think that we
I don't know what the whole Revenge of the Nerds component has to do with anything. I'm gonna just lay it out there. I saw someone in the comments like laugh about that. Like on me with my channel, I don't think nobody over here is a nerd. Um, there's a gentleman who's a mulatto man who like writes comics and stuff like that. He's an artist and does comics and promotes comic books, and so maybe he would be the closest thing that I can think of as like quote unquote a nerd. I mean, I'm a Batman fan, me personally, but I don't really collect comic books. I can't say that I fall into that nerd category, but I don't know. Like that doesn't apply to me. The revenge of the nerds type of stuff. No. For me specifically, we are mulatto biracial people who understand we need our own situation. We're not a subgroup to blacks. We've felt sorry for them. We helped them out. They told us we're not a part of their group. We're not like them. We've accepted that. The people over here, we've accepted that reality. So we're building our own situation. That's it. And we're fortifying it. And because of that, you're going to get, especially me, because I'm the host here, I'm going to get a lot of hate. They're going to run smear campaigns. They're going to hate because they're like, how dare you give mulattoes a voice? How dare you give people confidence to be proud of themselves? They don't want you to have a voice. And they see a guy like me giving you a voice. And so they hate me because of that, right?
see this. We're also dealing with death threats, hate mail, doxing, and cancel culture, or being canceled, the risk of being canceled. Things that scare.
Yeah, the whole doxing and cancel culture, they can cry to their white massa to cancel, but it hasn't been effective thus far. But the doxing, sure. But I mean, for a guy like me, I've always been very public with this social media. I show my face. I'm very public with this, so it's like, okay, this is me. This is you get a real guy. Like you're not gonna get some fake pro whack hiding behind the avatar. Preaching. Like the Black Authority or Professor Black Truth. These are prominent pro whacks in their FBA space, and like they're hiding behind avatar, right? Because you have other pro whacks like a Tariq Nasheed, but who is he married to? He's married to a mulatta, non-black. You have what's his name? Phil Advice Show, who's a pro whack, African Dysphoria Network. Who's he married to? A Mexican, a white Mexican, not black. So it's like, yeah, the people who show their face in the pro whack sectors, they're not married to blacks, But the people who are hiding behind the avatar in the pro whack sectors, like you don't even know what the hell, you don't know what's up with them, right? The difference with me is you got a mulatto guy. I'm very public, so that's it. They don't have anything on me there. I've went since I started. I already knew I'm going to be public anyways. I don't have nothing to lose. A guy like me, it's just it's non-effective. You're only promoting my image, my brand. It's only going to grow. You're doing me a favor.
You or will ruin your life. This is the epitome of censorship. And speaking of censorship, big platforms like this one,
Can you guys hear? I know her audio is kind of low. I hope you guys can hear. Just let me know in the comments. I can see your guys' comments. I'll get to them in a bit. And just let me know if you guys can hear because I know on her video, For me, it seems kind of low. It's up all the way. The volume's up. So I hope you guys can hear. Let's continue on.
Don't allow opposing opinions. They won't publish your comments. They'll penalize your account. So there's a lot of censorship going on here that annoys people. People complain about it all the time, especially.
Yeah, she's saying there's the censorship, but let me tell you, like I said, on TikTok, it's worse. Way worse than YouTube. YouTube is kind of bad. It's not perfect because, yeah, they still will allow like stalkers and saboteurs to create troll and sock puppet accounts to like attack people and just try to harm their credibility, stuff like that. So they still allow these type of people up here with their troll accounts. But I think yeah, it's TikTok is a better job at, but they're too extreme. I feel like TikTok, because they still will censor everything. So
When subscribers don't see their comments, every time I try to comment on a video, it's immediately deleted. We're dealing with that. But they allow hate speech, blatant hate speech and content from these other content creators, from these other channels. So this is something that people feel it's not worth it to continue.
people are discouraged from continuing to make content, and that's the whole purpose of the saboteurs, the narcissists, the gang stalkers, the narcs behind the smear campaigns. Their whole goal is to discourage you from creating more content. That's the whole goal. And they've some, I mean, to the women, they've some one of these people, they've basically encouraged a couple women to delete their channels, but of course they created new channels doing the same shit they did before, talking shit about people, nothing different. But like, that's their whole goal is to make it so where you guys don't have a voice, to where they silence, suppress you. They spread false information, slander, and lies to discredit your name, to discourage the audience from supporting you, engaging in the content, to take away mulatto voices. Now, this is a light skinned woman. She's speaking from a light skinned perspective, but there's overlap here. And I'm talking about that. This overlap within this concept of MLS, mixed light skin. That's they tried to bind us together when we're not the same. I've said that from day one. I'm always going to say this, but there is some overlap. When people come together and they have conversations about colorism and our perspective, and then there's certain people who don't like that. They have an issue with that.
We're also dealing with light-skinned people who are quote unquote woke, light-skinned and biracial people who reject themselves in order to be in the good graces of the Black community, the rest of the Black community. These people agree with the hate speech against them. You can
Yeah, and there's like one guy that I got out here. He like laughs at people talking about you're a tragic mulatto, you have no culture, you mulattoes have no culture, but he self-identifies as mulatto. Like he's very fucking confused. Like I convinced this guy to not only go back to school, get an education, not only to get a car, I convinced this guy to get a passport to go to the DR. I convinced this guy to get a passport and travel. And not only that, I convinced this guy to identify as mulatto. He hated the word mulatto. He hated the mulatto flag. He hated everything about the mulatto concept and consciousness. I convinced him. I changed his mind. He self-identifies as mulatto, but still today, what is it, the 27th, 2025, this same guy, a guy on YouTube, he's still going to talk shit about mulattoes, even though he's publicly identified himself as being mulatto. That's what she's talking about here is you have people who are light-skinned saviors, or just they're quote unquote woke. They want to cry about everything being anti-black. It's like, this is like, I've run into people like this, but this is mainly this one guy who's a nuisance, basically, where it's like, I've convinced him to get a passport, get a car, go back to school. I've convinced him to identify himself as mulatto, and he does. He calls himself mulatto, but he'll still talk shit about mulattoes and say mulattoes don't have a culture. And it's like, what the fuck is going on, bro? Like your operating system is like hijacked. You're still on this pro black shit, but the pro blacks are using you to attack yourself and other mulattoes. It's very bizarre how that works. And that's what she's talking about here is, not only do you have the dominant society, I can, if I want to use that loosely, they're not dominant, they're dark skins, they're not dominant, but she'll use that, other people will use that. They're majority, they have more numbers than us. To me, that they're not dominant. Because how is it that in Africa, like even South Africa, where it's majority black but a white population minority can come in there and just control everything? So they're not dominant, the dark skins are not dominant. But some people will use that term and say, "Well, they're dominant. They have more numbers." The numbers doesn't mean anything to me. To me, it does. And yeah. Let me continue on with this.
And see how that's counterproductive. And so far, every light skinned and biracial person on social media is this way. That's an overwhelming amount of people. So sometimes your
She said light skinned and biracial people. You see, that's that MLS, which I get it. That was a kind of vernacular that they utilized several years ago prior to my commencement. That was my whole thing. When I came up in here, I was like, let me just specifically speak to the mulattoes. Only now I'm kind of entertaining this like light skin stuff because a lot of light skins, they're coming up in here and like subscribing to my channel, putting comments, and they're identifying with it. And I have to kind of remind them, well, we're not the same. Just so you know, no disrespect, but we're not the same. Like the Bantus are not my people. And I get it with you. You grew up with them. You're from the hood. You from the hood. That's your people. I get it. But with me, they're not. I'm a mulatto man, biracial man. Those aren't my people. I don't identify with them. I don't have the same destiny as them. It's going to be a hard pill to swallow. You can cry all day you want like a bitch and say it's anti-black. Just make sure you stay your ass over there with them. If you want to cry the anti-black stuff. Over here, this is a mulatto centered space. We're doing a lot of things. We're doing everything different over here. Just so you understand, right? Because I have to tell people this every single day. And I've been the same way for 3 years since I started. In July, it'll be like 3 years since I hopped up on here. I was like, we're not the same. Why are people acting dumb when they see a guy like me? I'm just the beginning. I'm just one guy. Like these other people, they're coming up out here. They're going to start creating more content, producing more videos. They're going to surpass me. It's going to happen. Someone with more charisma, more creativity. They're going to have all this content they're going to produce out here. They're going to do this full time. It's just going to happen. I've always said this. I'm not special. But the mulatto voices are not going to be silenced by Afrocentrics and saboteurs who wish to dismantle our entire operation. It's not going to happen. They can try. We're still going to be here. I'm living testament to that.
efforts may seem futile and you're likely to give up. Also, we're dealing with people with mental instabilities and disorders on this platform. This is a touchy subject. I understand that people are very sensitive about this sort of thing, but it is what it is. A few colorism content creators have actually admitted to having these disorders. I think that it goes without saying that mental illness and mental disorders, mental afflictions, distorts thinking, influences thinking. And if you have a target in mind that you think is the reason for why you're going through a hard time in life, the disorder is going to influence how they handle that situation. And we've seen that on this platform, definitely. We're also
Just want to pause. Well, it's on every platform. I got to reiterate that. on, because on X, Elon Musk took over X. It's straight up Nazis. It's funny. I thought it used to be like a black platform. X. I thought that the blacks basically had like a stronghold on X for these all these years. I remember reading a fucking textbook like a decade ago where they basically like one of the highlights in the book was stating how like well blacks have made it influential on Twitter. It was Twitter back then, right? And how because the users, black users have utilized and like I thought it was a black platform like a decade ago. But I mean, it's Elon Musk, the acquisition, it's a straight up fucking Nazi platform. You got people with Adolf Hitler avatars and shit. It's crazy. The type of shit you see over on X where it's like it's straight up white supremacists now. I don't really see the blacks having that much influence over there. And they don't really have the influence on YouTube either. Let's be real. The blacks don't run shit on YouTube. They've been crying for years on YouTube, okay? If they're black and they're gay, they might have some kind of, influence per se, so to speak. But I feel like mostly TikTok is where they have the influence, especially if they're gay and they're black. On TikTok, that's where really they're talking hate about mulattoes and biracials, hating on white women, biracials with white moms. A lot of that's on TikTok. Okay. And so, but yeah, it's interesting when you analyze these platforms. Like for me, I'm just a guy on social media with the voice that's not going to be silenced. I'm just out here talking. That's it. I'm not special, but I'm learning along with you guys. You guys are learning, and I'm learning as well. So
Dealing with bullying and harassment. We're dealing with a ring of female YouTubers and also gay male YouTubers who work together towards an organized smear campaign against light skinned women.
now, what she said. This is why I wanted to hop up here. She said she's saying we are working with a ring of black females along with gay black males who are running smear campaigns against light-skinned women. Not only they're running smear campaigns against light-skinned women, they're running smear campaigns against biracial men as well who are sympathetic towards light-skinned women. When they see a guy like me, there's an active smear campaign going on against me. I'm not going to give any clout or any notoriety to any of the channels or platforms, but this is what's going on. They've been doing this for a while because this video was published 4 years ago. So they've been, this has been their operation before I was even on social media. That's why I know it. To me, it's like I'm not even special. What they're mad about, the gay black guy, I have a stalker who's a gay black guy. He has several troll accounts. He trolls and stalks and harasses. You guys all know who it is. We all know there's enough information out there. We all know. Same guy, right? And like, and he stalks me. But the thing is, it's like he's been doing this to everybody else. And even before him, other gay black guys have been doing this to other people and other women. If you're a light skin or a mixed race content creator, they've been doing this thing for a while. It's nothing new. And the thing is with the gay black guys, they have nowhere to hide. They don't even have their own gay black circles because black males reject them. They don't have any respect. Black males rejected them from their spaces. They didn't reject the biracial men. They like biracial men. Like if they can claim their wins, that's the thing with like a Drake, because Drake still has all these black men who his bodyguards, his managers, supporters. I see videos of Drake. He's surrounded by black men. So you can, the thing is with biracial men, there's always gonna be black guys who want to be cool with us. For my whole position here is like we got to make sure we get the best end of the deal. We have to renegotiate our position. But for the gay black male, he doesn't have any respect from black men. So he's stuck with black females. And not only that, because the gay black male is competing with black females for sexual access to males. But it's just they're stuck there. They're stuck there. So they pretend to be allies to black females. They pretend to take on their arguments and talking points about colorism, featureism, anti-black. The big one for them is the colorism and featureism and texturism. They take on their arguments because they want cover. the sex deviant black male, bisexual black male. They want cover. So they know a good place to hide for protection is within black female circles. So they virtue signal these black females and take on their talking points and take on their whole operation about colorism and texturism and all that. Yeah, that's all it is. It's all facade. And these same bisexual black males, you if you examine them on social media long enough, you expose them, you realize this guy's a colorist, this guy's anti-black, this guy's a fucking hater, he makes racist comments to black people. But how the hell is it that he hides underneath black women pretending to be their ally? you know because he wants cover, he wants protection, because nobody else respects him. He's out on his own. And other gay black guys, he's not even clicked up with them. Straight black men, they don't mess with him, right? So he's stuck with the black females and he has to take on their talking points and their arguments in order for protection. It's a cover. We're going to get a lot more into that into the future if necessary. I'm just scratching the surface with this. So let's continue on.
These women and these men and their followers constantly attack light-skinned YouTubers and try to have their channel taken down or successfully have their channel flagged down. Again, YouTube allows this sort of thing. These people are never penalized for things that people who go against the grain would be penalized for. That's unfair. And overall, this type of unfairness and harassment and bullying makes staying on this platform stressful and unattractive. So,
And I agree with her sympathy, her plight. I've even said it myself. I thought of it myself. I was like, well, shit. If I'm getting harassed and people are running smear campaigns on me and I'm getting doxxed and all this shit, I'm like, and people are talking about my family that has nothing, like throwing out names of my family and my siblings that has nothing to do with anything I'm saying. It's like, well, shit, I need to get paid. That's my whole thought process where it's like, well, I got to basically kind of put a paywall behind everything. If I'm out here putting myself out here, speaking to the public, encouraging mulattoes, and I'm like the main target, well, shit, you know, I got to get compensated for this because fuck that. I got a whole life and family outside of all this. This is ridiculous. So I understand what the lady is saying here, where a lot of people get discouraged. And I kind of felt that, but I'm like, you know what? Nah, we need this mulatto content. Mulattoes are going to wake up eventually. I already knew this like a few years ago when I started making content. I was like, look, it's going to happen eventually. If it's not me, I'm not special. I'm nobody special. I say that every day. But these other mulattoes, wherever they are, whatever they're working at, if they work at a restaurant, work at a warehouse, they're a truck driver, they're a physician, regardless of what position they hold, they're going to come to the conclusion they have a voice too. There's people out here too who speak on their behalf and who sympathize with them. That's it.
so that people may leave. So now I'm going to get into the reasons why people don't maintain their YouTube channel. First, obviously, everything else that I just mentioned. This sector of YouTube is extremely toxic. It's not good for your mental health, especially if you're a part of this smaller targeted group. And especially if you...
She said it's not good for your mental health, especially if you're a part of a smaller targeted group. Who's a small targeted group? You're talking about light-skinned people? But I'm a mulatto biracial man. From what I see with these like light-skinned people, they're suck butts and ass kissers to dark-skinned people. That's why I'm sitting here laughing. Like, we're not the same. Like a mulatto American is not the same as a light-skinned African American. We're not the same people. Because from when I've started, I'm looking at it like a lot of these people, they don't even like me. And some of them I've liked them. Like I'll name one guy, Brown and Beige community. I like the guy's commentary. And I think he doesn't like me because like I laid it the delineation to distinction. We're not the same. I don't even think he's not even light skinned. He's like a black guy, pretends to be light skinned, but that's what the whole golden sphere was. You had black people who cosplay is being like light skin or mixed or MGM. You got this guy, Irby Fatal, random fruitcake. He's a black guy. He's a dark skinned black guy. He pretends to be MGM or light skin. We're like, why do these guys slip through into our discussion? These are interlopers, you know? And no hate on Brown and Beige. I said I like the guy. I like his commentary, but I think he doesn't like me because he's upset with the fact that I'm laying a distinction out there, delineation, that there's a difference between a mulatto biracial man and these other people. And so, and that's the main difference. And like with this lady here, this is 4 years ago, she made the video and I'm like, well, that's, you guys got a lot of confusion going on. You got black people pretending to be mixed and they're kind of fucking up the whole operation. Where are the mulattoes at, dude? I identify as mulatto. Let's work towards something. Let's establish something and move forward with it, because the way it's working right now, even when I'm seeing and like, I'll say her name Ginger, that's it. You know, I'm not going to give her channel a shout out. She's not going to get any promo from me. Her video with the most views got my name in the title. That's the best you're going to get, lady. Okay. But she you know, talking like it's like, you guys, you accept your position being punks to dark skinned people. That's why mulattoes got to basically say, have a good day, sayonara, I wish you the best. You need to stay your ass over there and serve them. Don't come over here to Mulattoville and try to get us and drag us back over to help your ass. It's not going to happen. Not with a guy like me. Because you can brand me. They're already doing that, branding me anti-black, racist, all the look. Prove it anyways. For my whole thing, prove it. I don't care. Go cry to your white massa. You savages have no fucking power. So go ahead and try to prove it. But don't even try it. You do try it, and you know you're gonna fail. As long as I'm up here.
You're a real woman. So let me break that down. This sector of YouTube becomes too much for feminine women. You see how these other women have to.
Yeah, she said the sector of YouTube becomes too much for feminine women. I agree. And the feminine women, they basically kind of check out and do other shit. I don't blame them because they're being harassed and targeted. It's like, what's the point? What's the point? That's why a guy like me, I'm public, I'm on camera. It's like, I have nothing to lose. I'm only going to gain notoriety. My profile is only going to grow. You know, it's funny how people say I'm so insignificant. Not people, not a whole bunch of people, just one bisexual fruitcake troll saboteur who's trying to say you're nobody, you're not special, blah blah blah, but he keeps promoting me. It's like, you're promoting my image. I'm growing because of you, right? And it's but for the women, the feminine women, yeah, I agree with what she was saying, where it's like, for them, a lot of them, they're going to be discouraged because they're going to get harassed. People are going to attempt to dox them and harass them, and it's very sad, but it's what's been happening. This woman put this video 4 years ago, and people are still going to try to do that today, you know. And then you have masculine women and lesbians who come into the space, who try to capture and you know, subdue the feminine women. That's the thing, is you have lesbian predators in the space, not only bisexual predators and gay predators, okay, blacks, or even if they're mixed and are gay, but you're going to have lesbian predators like the future is golden. You're going to have those types who are going to come in here and click up with other mixed race lesbians and try to basically kowtow and circulate the females to be against the males, and try to scare the women and say, well, you got to be with us, because if you go with the males and you're cool with the males, they're going to attack you. It's just like lesbian trick. They've been doing this since I've started. I've been seeing this. I didn't have the vocabulary and awareness to identify this, but this is what's going on. It's funny because the women who come to me and tell me this is what's happening, there's women who are telling me, hey, future is golden, she created a whole, you know, Discord chat, And every time they talk with her, she's trying to tell them how Mulatto Vanguard is so bad and don't trust him and he's going to turn on you. I'm like, what the fuck? Behind the scenes. This is all behind the scenes, guys. But these women, these ladies tell me this. So they trust me enough. They tell me it's crazy. This has been going on within these quote unquote spaces, these mixed and light skinned spaces. Yeah, you got lesbian predators like the future is golden who's trying to trick these women and get these women to go against men. And for what? It's very bizarre. Let's continue on with this.
Fake femininity. I have a video on that. I'm not taking a jab here, but this is because they're not like conventional women. They admit to being more on the robotic side. These types of women seem to work predominantly with the left side of their brains. So the left side is the logical, mechanical side. This is the way of thinking that men usually have. There's nothing inherently wrong with people like this, but this is a specific type of person and it affects how they operate here on social media. So these women in this sector are very similar to men. For example,
She said the women in this sector are very similar to men. Oh, damn. Really? Really? Do tell. Do tell. What do you like? And the thing is, we have to, you know, specify what women. Are they the feminine women, the feminine mulattas? Are they the lesbian mulattas, okay, who want to act like dudes and try to, how do I want to put this? This has been going on for so long. It's not new. Like I said, for 3 years, this is not new. I see these people jump up in here. You're pro mulatto. I'm pro mulatto. Like, okay, yeah, that's cool. Let's see your work. Let's see what you do. And yeah, we have to be specific because there's a lot of vulnerable people here, and there's feminine women who are basically being targeted by these lesbians within the space. This is very real. Just like you have gay guys who are black, pro black gay guys who are trying to target the straight male biracial content creators. They're going to dox the biracial content creators, run smear campaigns on the biracial male content creators because they're upset that the biracial straight male content creators don't want nothing to do with them. And then they're going to run and hide behind black women. Like, see, he's anti-black. It's like, bro, you're a gay boy, bro. This ain't even your space, your spot. What are you doing here, bro? Go back to the pro-black shit. You're anti-black. And then you look at that person, their social media, they're fucking anti-black. We're like, what the hell is going on? Like this, there's a lot of weirdos who navigate towards this discussion. I'm just gonna be a straight mulatto man who's gonna provide some clarity for all you guys here.
they don't need much sleep. They work like men. They think like men. They operate like men. They have similar emotionality as men.
She's talking about a some. I'm not saying all, but she's saying some. She kind of generalized and said the light skinned women in this space they operate like men, which you have like the ghetto grandma. You know, she wants to act like a dude and try to and bully women to be like radical feminist and trick them. Right? It's like, how are you claim to be a married female, but you call women pick Mishas? What married woman that's respectable will call another woman a pick Misha? Like she wants to like bully women for like liking guys or supporting guys. you know, not normal. So, and that's the thing because you got females who act like dudes and then they wonder why dudes don't like respect them or clown their ass. Well, you act like a fucking dude. If you act like a woman, yeah, we're gonna promote you. Like, there's this petition I'm promoting. Mulatto, who's behind the petition. She is a baddie. Like, she's feminine. And yeah, I see her. Okay, she's doing good work. I'm gonna promote her. It's like plain and simple. Yeah, She's actually doing something positive for people who are like me and like other people, mulattoes. So it's like, yeah, I'm going to promote that. But then, yeah, you got some people out here who are female biologically, but they act like dudes. They act like straight up dudes. We're like, how do you expect a male to support you? The only male who's going to support you is a fucking 70-year-old diabetic Latino male who's obese, who hasn't got shit going on in his life, who's pathetic, who's sadly pathetic, and is just a joke, not even worth giving commentary on. That's the only guy who's going to support you. Or an incel who was a former Nazi. Now he's a Christian guy. Okay, I get it. He's still an incel, regardless if he's a Nazi or a Christian, whatever. He's still a hardcore incel. Yeah, that's your support. Or a black dude who's gay, who pretends to be quote unquote MGM, he's just a gay black guy. That's your support. But you don't have the biracial men, the masculine men who support you. Very telling. Complete contrast and difference with a guy like me, because I have the biracial women who support me on all platforms. I have the biracial men who support me on all platforms. You can't say the same, can you? No. Yeah. We're not in the same league. That's the whole thing.
Yeah. So these women in this sector are very similar to men. For example, they don't need much sleep. They work like men. They think like men. They operate like men. They have similar.
She's saying the men, she's saying, excuse me, the women in the sector, they operate just like men. She's like, they work like men. They don't need sleep. Yeah. I mean, there's a handful of them. I wouldn't generalize the women. Okay. But there's a handful of them. And we got to separate because, like, yeah, there's the lesbian predators. You have lesbian predators who are in the space who want to basically capture the female audience and trick them and say, don't support this guy. He's going to turn on you. He's going to do you bad. They're trying to instill fear in these women to not support men. It's very bizarre and like it's not natural. And those are the hardcore lesbians. You literally, it's been this way from what I've always seen in all these mixed, quote unquote, mixed spaces on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, regardless. A lot of these people, they're lesbians. They're LGBT, they're lesbians. And they run the whole conversation. So if you are a straight man and you want to make your mark and be meaningful, like you're gonna have a lot of opposition. You look at a guy like me. What's the worst they say about me? They make up shit. They make up lies they can't even prove. They just make up stuff thinking it's going to stick. But the main thing is he's anti-black. Okay, well, this is not a pro-black space. If you want pro-black, Afrocentric, go somewhere else. You're not going to find it here. Okay, because you're not going to cry that anti-black shit when you go to Sean Hannity or Laura Ingraham or those people at Fox News. They're going to laugh at your stupid black ass. But you want to come to the biracial man and cry that anti-black shit. We're done and past that. It doesn't work over here. I'm going to make money off you fucking savages if you keep spreading that. I'm organizing. I'm making it to where it's operational. I'm going to make money off you people. Go find something better to do because I'm already bored with you people.
Emotionality as men. This sector of YouTube will overwhelm the conventional woman, especially without adequate support, which I'll touch on later. So, considering this, the person may leave. Also, for the most part, light-skinned YouTubers are regular people, not aspiring media personalities.
Not aspiring media personalities. She said light skinned people are regular people, not aspiring. I never aspired to be a media personality, YouTuber, blah, 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 all this stuff. I hopped up on here. I hopped on a couple panels of other people who already had channels, small channels, whatever. But I just hopped on their panel. I was like, well, shit. My goal for doing this is like eventually I want to meet people. What they say IRL in real life. I was like, I want to meet people and like hang out with biracial people and like have our own community. That was literally my whole goal coming into this. I don't want to just make content and just make live streams and all this. I'm doing these live streams super late at night, like right now, super duper late. Like, this is the time I can do it. Trust me, some of my people, my audience, they're telling me, hit, notify me when you go live and let me know. I hop on here when I can. You guys are going to tune in. If you don't tune in, that's fine. Watch the replay. The whole thing is just freedom and flexibility. I hop up on here when the fuck I want to hop up on here. You're going to tune in or you're not going to tune in. I don't give a fuck. But I'm very satisfied and happy because I know I see the right people. They're actually catching on to the material and they're starting to make content. They're making videos. This is mission accomplished. So I'm not catering everything I'm doing here to accommodate people in their time zones because I have an international audience. I got people in South Africa, in the UK, in the Caribbean, in Brazil. I got people around the planet who tune in. And, United States, we have like 4 different time zones, right? So it's like, I'm, if you catch me, you catch me when I do a live stream. I'm going to do these impromptu, spontaneous stuff right now because that's what's fitting with my schedule. And, yeah, I get a kick. Yeah, some of these cats are like, oh, let me know when you go. No. Hit the notification bell. Okay. Make sure you subscribe to my platforms. Make sure you follow me. Hit the notification bell. You're going to get reminded when I go live. If you miss a live, that's on you, homie. Catch the replay. Okay.
Not covert narcissists searching for the power that they wish they had in high school. So that means that things happen in our lives. That means that there will be inevitable interruptions. And we, as regular people, may be less equipped to balance YouTube and our personal lives when those things happen. And we're not supported enough to choose YouTube over our life, over any.
Yeah, she's saying we're not supported enough to choose YouTube over she's saying her life, like I guess her job or work or whatever, because you don't have the numbers. Now, woman is speaking from a light skin perspective, doing like colorism content or light skin content. So that's the whole thing here. Let me get rid of this real quick. There we go. That's the whole thing here, is that what she's speaking about is the fact that a lot of people, they're not getting support. They don't have the numbers, because when you have in the black spaces, they have a lot of numbers. So in the black spaces, they could talk a lot of shit, but they'll still have people who are like cash apping them and super chatting them just to talk shit. Well, they have the numbers, and they can kind of throw money around and stuff like that. Where she's talking about with the light skin, quote unquote, sector, you don't have the numbers, you don't have the audience, right? For her or whatever, I know this lady, I found this clip, I was like, interesting. So for her, she doesn't, and you guys don't have creativity to monetize your work and efforts. That's on you. Like they cry about the numbers, but to me, the whole thing is like, yeah, I don't do good numbers, but I have the right people I want. To me, it's about quality over quantity. I just want the right people. I want mulatto men and women who are dedicated, who are proud to be mulatto. I don't want these grifters who are just trying to make a buck and sell their little shitty book, because I see a lot of people in the Facebook or whatever, like you have these mulattas with their black baby daddy. They're trying to sell their book and shit, and they're trying to market their material to. I thought about this earlier. I was laughing. I got a kick out of it. It's so funny. Like, you know, they want to sell their book to mulatto people to buy their book, and then they just want to use that money to support their black kids, and they want to marry into blackness, but they can't take their white ass into the black community and sell their book to black people. So they want to like sell their shit to mixed people. Like I see that. I've been seeing that for a minute too. I'm not gonna name names, but there's a few people, a couple people at least I can say, where I see that. It's hilarious. It's like, okay, you married into blackness. Okay. Okay, you need to go to black people if you want financial support. That's my whole thing here with this mulatto operation. My thing is for the mulattoes who create products that are beneficial to mulattoes and want mulattoes to support it. That's my whole thing. And some of these people that they can't grasp that or they're not benefiting from that. I think that's what this lady is saying, where like the numbers, well, you don't get support. Hey man, like to me, this is part-time. I'm up here late at night or early in the morning, depending where you're at. Like this is just extra shit. I'm doing part-time. This is not a full-time endeavor. But I'm happy to be here to serve the mulatto community. So I'll hop up here and give my 2 cents. And for me, it's worked out perfectly fine. I have people who will support me. Shout out the other day. Let me see the lady's name. I got a cash app from a lady. I didn't shout her out last stream. Let me pull it up real quick and give her a shout out. Is I think it was a South African woman because I had the colored gentleman on the panel, and someone hit up the cash app and it was Ire Nundukwe. If I'm pronouncing it correctly, I apologize. She says, for Wango Zaleam, a mulatto spoke on Ibrahim Taraho Re. I apologize. My pronunciation is really like off. I apologize. But this is a lady. I can look at the, I'm looking at the Cash App lady who Cash App me last stream. I didn't shout her out last stream, but I'm shouting her out now. Shout out to you. I appreciate your support. And so to me, like I have mulatto men and women who support me, and there's black people who will support me too, which is interesting. So for me, it's worked out. Could it be better and more? Like, yeah, of course it could, but that's on me. I got to be the man to be as productive and put into this to where it's like I can have a lot of support. That's on me. Like, but any support I get from you guys, I will greatly appreciate and I'll shout you out. And you're gonna help me produce better content essentially. So yeah, just want to lay that out there that like the support is there. There's people who will like you and resonate with the content and shout you out and support you, but it's on the creator themselves. And I think that's a common misconception is people they often like blame the audience or blame the space. They say, "Oh, these light skinned people." Like I had some drunk troll, the ghetto grandma. I had to block her dumbass. She was in the chat with her troll account. She called me a cloud chaser when she had cloud chaser in her stupid little banner for her little ghetto channel. Like her, she tried to blame the audience, saying they don't support me, they don't support in a sector. But I'm sitting there like, you're a troll channel. You're a TE channel. Yeah, all you do is you want to report on drama with other biracials, and you want to report that on your channel, and you want people to pay you money for that. Like you're not encouraging people to be better, and she wonders why she doesn't get support. It's very pathetic. And this is someone who's literally a fucking grandma. Her kids have kids. She's literally like a grandma. You know, it's really disgusting. But let me continue on with this.
Anything else that we have going on. So the person may leave. These other YouTubers seem impervious to situations like these. Life getting in the way, life tearing you away from YouTube. And this leads me to my next point. We, meaning the light skinned YouTubers that used to be here and that are here now, we may also have more of.
I'm going to pause there to get into this. He says, your view of pro black Ryan Clark going after RG3 for disrespecting Angel Reese and marrying white women, only for Ryan to get called out for having a white baby mama. I have no idea who these people are. I don't know who RG3 is. I don't know who Angel Reese is. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just don't know. I'm not in the loop of things. You can email me. You can go ahead and email me mulattovanguard@gmail.com. Send me the links. Send me a message. I can take a look at it, but I have no idea who you're referencing here. These people, Pro Black, Ryan Clark, or RG3, Angel Reese. I don't know who any of these people are. I'm sorry. I have no idea.
A life than these other YouTubers. Just as people, as a YouTuber, I'll tell you that a lot of work and time goes into creating content.
It does. A lot of work and time goes in creating content. That's the main thing. Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, without a doubt. Like if I was full time, yeah, I'd have a video for you guys every day. Every day. Do the best I could with the content. And yeah, I mean, you guys get what you get, and it's working out for me pretty good for my own personal standards. It could be way better, right? But that's all dependent on me, what the effort I put out here. But yeah, I'm not a full time YouTuber or content creator, so you kind of get what you get. And I really appreciate the fact that a lot of you guys, you like it, you resonate with the content, and you have the feedback, the commentary. It's kind of put me in a position to where it's like I can build upon what I've kind of already created. This can be self continuous, if that's a word. you know I can continue what I'm doing now just based off your guys' engagement. Your engagement is everything, so it's like I can continue to move forward with this based off the comments, the interaction, etc. I have so much material. Like I'm seriously backlogged. There's so much other stuff. Like it's funny, yesterday I was driving around town listening. I usually listen to classical music when I drive around, and there was a mulatto composer. And let me pull up the name because I'm gonna do a video about him, but I'll give you guys kind of a brief kind of you know his name is Samuel Coleridge Taylor, mulatto man, composer. He was born August 15th, 1875, and he died September 1st, 1912. United Kingdom. He was a British composer and a conductor. And yeah, his name was Samuel Coleridge Taylor. And I just yesterday, just by chance, listening to my classical radio station, they talked about, they're like mixed race composer. I was like, oh wait, let me turn this up and let me tune in. Okay, who are you talking about? And I do a quick search. I was like, okay, another great idea for a video. And I'm backlogged. There's so many other like material and videos I want to talk about. And it's just I'm not full time, guys, so bear with me. I'll get to it when I get to it. But I just want to give you that example of something that came across my desk, so to speak, yesterday, where I was like, okay, I gotta make a video about this guy. I just learned about this mulatto man who's a composer. I love classical music. And let me promote this guy. Let me share with the public because I didn't even know who this guy was. If I don't know, I'm pretty damn sure you guys don't know, my core audience. That's the whole goal with this operation, is to inform everybody and teach people. So yeah.
It's impossible to create consistently as these other YouTubers do. When you factor in work, family, friends, dating, sex, leisure time, self care, time with God, spiritual maintenance, and to have fully edited videos like these people do about current events as they happen, that's very hard to do. It's an on-demand lifestyle, and these things take a very long time. It wouldn't allow you to have much of a life, no matter how smart you are, no matter how fast you work. So it becomes hard to maintain your channel, so the person may leave. So now let's talk about incentive and support. So it also becomes especially hard when you don't have the financial incentive to put out videos and you're lacking other types of support.
Yeah. And that's where the creativity comes in. That's where someone like me has to think outside the box and be creative. Now, for my own personal situation, I feel like I'm blessed where it's like I said, I'm not a full-time YouTuber. Um, but from the effort I put out here, the residuals have been extremely beneficial for me. The people I've met, people I've connected with, and the information I've learned so much from you guys. I have the Owl Show in the chat, an older gentleman. I've learned from him, from Telling Stewart, even Renata Mulata. Learned so much from people where it's like that's kind of the whole process. It's not only that there's some like monetary benefit, but it's also like I'm learning valuable information. So for me, it's worked out, but I think with each content creator, it's their creativity, how they can create, how they can craft their content to make it appealing to the public. To where, for me, the whole thing is I'm not going to beg any of you people to support me. I got my Cash App scrolling along the stream. And like I said, shout out to the lady. It's like a South African lady. I apologize. I kind of butchered her name, but the last stream I did, she supported. She dropped a donation. It's Ire Nundukwe. Shout out to her. She supported me last stream, but it's like I have the Cash App, but I'm not gonna beg you guys, right? I'm not panhandling anything like that. But it's dependent upon the creator to create content. I want people who are like proud to support me. That's the whole thing. That's the main thing that will motivate me. I want people who are like proud to put their name on it, to be like, I support this guy, I support his message. That motivates me. That makes me proud, where it's like, okay, I'm of obligation to you, to serve you, to make sure you get what you're looking for. I want people who are proud to support me. I will never beg you. Just want to make that clear.
I don't know to what extent the other light skinned YouTubers in this sector have been supported financially, but I want to say that if you support a content creator or you appreciate them, you should probably make a financial contribution. It's definitely an incentive for creating more content more consistently, if that's what you want to see. But also keep in mind the risks of having a channel like this, of speaking out on a subject like this. Keep in mind that we're putting our lives on the line to speak out about these things.
You're gonna have a lot of ops. A lot of people are not gonna be happy, right? When you talk about this material, they're not gonna be happy, right? Because it's a one-way discussion. They want to control the narrative. They don't want you to have a voice. That's the whole thing with the gang stalkers, the narcissists and saboteurs, the smear campaigns. They don't want you to have a voice. They want to discourage you from speaking up. That's the thing.
There's always a risk of these people, these other women, the rest of the internet, who consider us their enemies, trying to ruin our lives. Again, this is why all of the light skinned YouTubers are anonymous. Otherwise,
She said all the light skinned YouTubers are anonymous. Not all of them are, Um, no, not all of them are. She made the video 4 years ago. Maybe a lot of them were. Isn't Angel Reese? I think that's his name. He's like Puerto Rican kind of mixed guy. He's not anonymous. Caesar Cannon's not anonymous. Ginger, I'll say that. I'm not gonna give her any clout because she's been super messy trying to clout chase off my name. She's not anonymous, right? I'm not anonymous. Now and then again, I'm not light skinned. I'm a biracial mulatto man. I don't do that light skin shit. It's only light skin around the blacks. So a lot of the quote unquote light skins are not really anonymous. So, but she made the video 4 years ago. Maybe, like I said, things are kind of changed or different now. A lot of, and also shout out to the guy. I did a video because he posted a comment on my channel. I gotta think, what is the name of the man's channel? His name is Lester Diamond 8. Shout out to him. He's a light skinned brother. Okay. He's light skinned brother. Lester Diamond 8 is kind of a newer channel. And so he's a light skinned dude and he's not anonymous. He's public. He has his face all making videos and stuff. So just like me. So it's like, but I think maybe 4 years ago, a lot of light skinned people, they didn't have a lot of heart. And honestly, even today, I'm seeing a lot of these light skins. They don't have heart. They're sucking off Bantus. They're Bantu butt kissers, and I just can't co-sign any of that. Okay, but gonna be real with you. But um, I think nowadays a lot of the lighter skinned people, they have more heart now, to where they're publicly with their platforms and talking. So let's see where it goes in the future. Let's see if they're consistent with it. That's the key thing.
there's been a lack of physical support. Most light skinned people are not going to speak up. We know why. The ones who aren't scared,
She said most light skinned people are not going to speak up. Oh, trust me. Like I see on YouTube, or excuse me, not YouTube, TikTok. Yeah, even if they're mulatto, they're mulatto. I'm gonna say the mulatto because the men, it's like, you see the situation with Drake. A lot of guys, a lot of mulattoes, they find my channel, my shit. They already realize what time it is. But when I go on YouTube, even today, some knucklehead blocked me, which is perfectly fine. I want her to because she's an idiot. She's black identified. She's 40 plus she's like 50 plus percent non-black, but she identifies as black. And I just post a comment, your name is a slur. I'm gonna block you. You have the name mulatto. I'm gonna block you. Okay, good. Thank you, ho. Block me. I appreciate that. Another idiot, like we're not going anywhere. The mulatto consciousness is not going anywhere. They're going to have to deal with the reality one way or another, sooner or later. So but yeah, I ran into her and some other person too, some other lady, was like upset. She's like, you're one of these mixed pages. You guys are weird. But these type of people, these like mulatto, I'm talking about these two mulattoes specifically, like they got mostly black audience members in their TikTok. That's in TikTok, I find. So it's like, yeah, for them, they're not going to speak out because their audience is black. What the hell? It's obvious. They had a black audience. They're not going to speak out against them. So, yeah.
or conditioned, or fake woke, they don't have much of a presence on social media. So, to an activist or a content creator who is light skinned, who's going against the grain, it might not feel like a collective effort. And the person,
For me, that's the difference between mulattoes and light skins. So I feel like I do have a collective effort. I feel like I do have a band of supporters. You're not going to see them right now in the chat because, like I said, I do these impromptus. I just want to see who shows up. And obviously, I'm not really planning this shit. I just jump up here. But if I did plan it and I had a scheduled time, and I told my audience I'm gonna go live at this time, you're gonna see my supporters straight up holding it down, right? So it's obvious right now. So I just hop up on here, whatever. But for me personally, I feel like I have a lot of supporters who resonate with the message. But I think that's all. It's each individual content creator. Who is their core audience? Who are they speaking to? Like I've been very clear since day one who my audience is. Like I'm not rebranding and flipping and switching every several months trying to figure this stuff out. I already figured it out a few years ago. Like this is my audience. I want to build upon my audience, encourage my audience to be more active. That's it. Like I already have the people I want over here. So I think that's what this individual is trying to figure out, where she's saying she's not going to get support or something like that, where she just has to figure out her audience. Are you a Bantu butt kisser? Are you trying to be down with the Bantus while they're hating on your little light skin ass? And that you're in a conflict of interest. It doesn't make sense to a mulatto biracial guy like me. When I see you people, you're very conflicted. Are you a black American, or are you a quote unquote light skin or red bone, yellow bone, whatever the hell you are? You need to make up your mind about what you are. Because if those are your dark skinned brothers and sisters, you need to shut your ass up and go back with them and help their community. Don't come over here with the mulattoes trying to fuck shit up, because we are going to reject you and you're not going to be happy about it, but it will happen.
may feel like they're the only one who's being proactive. That's a lot for one person, and they'll leave. And now I'm going to talk about the Black community in general and how it runs and what it's receptive to and how that affects this situation. So, Black people culturally see bullying as a legitimate form of strength and bravery. So, when
Now, her analysis and articulation is spot on. I agree with her. And she said black people, she could be specific and say black Americans, they see strength in bullying and intimidation. She's spot on with that. But you often find that they cry like bitches when it's done to them. Then they call it white supremacy or anti-black racism, right? When it's done to them. But it's like a lot of them, they don't get called out on it. Now, this is a light-skinned lady. She's calling them out. She's saying, look, they find strength in bullying. That's why they find strength in bullying people and trying to humble people, right? They think that's like a badge of honor. But when it's done to them, when the white supremacists bully their black ass, they cry racism. Why is that? Why? And now people are talking about black fatigue and they want to act surprised, or they'll try to flip it and say white fatigue and all this stuff. Look, everybody has black fatigue. That's the pushback, right? Because they've been coddled for so long, they want to bully these biracials and bully these mulattoes and bully even these light skins who still identify with Bantus. So the difference was the mulattoes and biracials, we don't identify with Bantus. We just leave them and do our own stuff. But the light skins, they're kind of stuck there. They still identify with the Bantu. So, but even with them, they're pushing back. That's the interesting part.
It's receptive to and how that affects this situation. So, Black people culturally see bullying as a legitimate form of strength and bravery. So,
Now, she say Black Americans, they see culturally as bullying a legitimate form of strength and brave. Like she really articulated it perfectly. I'm gonna drop the link for this video in the description and comment section. I saw this earlier. I was like, man, her articulation is spot on. She said it way better than me. Like, because that's really what it is. They honestly think they're virtuous. They can bully people and and call you light skinned, you weak, and you light skinned, you soft, and blah blah blah. And they got light skins like punks and bitches and cucks, where they feel sorry for the Bantu, where they're gonna turn on the biracial and call you anti-black. And we're like, man, we're sticking up for you. And you see that the Bantu's calling you a bitch because you're light skinned. But this is your brother and sister. So it's like you see a guy like me, you want to think I'm the enemy or I'm quote unquote divisive. But I'm pointing it out. It's like, bro, I don't talk about you people like that. I only critique you when you're a cuck to the Bantu who's punking you. Then I sit there and laugh at you like this is some weak shit. I can't identify with you. If you allow these people to disrespect you like that and talk about you like that and you don't say nothing, you're going to be like Ginger, who's like, well, that's just the way it is. That's why I don't, no response needed. The mulattoes, they're going to take care of it. I don't need to do any response. I want these other channels to kind of build up and grow their platforms. And I saw with the Ginger, like she, her video, her first video, with her video that has the most views, that's got my name in the damn title, where in the video she basically was saying like, well, that's just the way it is. Like the dark skins talk shit about us light skins. Well, we just dealt with it. That's the way it is. That's the difference between a biracial and mulatto and a light skinned black. We don't just accept that shit. you know you were conditioned to think that's acceptable. Oh, that's just the way it is. The dark skins talk shit about us being light skinned. That's the way it is. We're not the same people. I don't know why you people come over here trying this shit with us. I really don't. You're just gonna give me more content, and I'm already backlogged. I have a bunch of other stuff I can talk about. And it's I'm not gonna promote you people in your weak ass channels. No, you gotta pay for promotion. And I'm just gonna let the other mulattoes handle you people. Fuck out of here. But I just remember where she's like, that's just the way it is. We just the dark skins talk shit about us. That's just the way it is. So you mulattoes, you biracials, the whites aren't gonna accept you as white. So you just gotta just jump over and be with us and let fuck out of here. Go somewhere else with I could say I could be very mean, you know, but it's so insulting to have these people jump on YouTube and social media and look you dead in the eye on camera, looking in their camera, acting like this is a good deal. Like they're just punks. They're just straight up marks and punks for dark skinned Bantus. And they look at biracials trying to tell us the shit that we've been hearing for 30 plus years. Well, the whites don't accept you. You just want to be white and you can't be white. So that's why you pushing this anti-black stuff. So you just got to be with us. Like, we've been hearing you people pull in the same rhetoric for a long time. You guys are still trying it. We're not the same as you people. If you want to be a punk and underneath the Bantus, you need to stay your ass over there. I don't know why you people tag me in your videos trying to get my attention. The mulattoes over here, we're not doing that. Because you tag me, I'm not tagging you. You got to have a ton of subscribers for me to even tag you. That's number one. You lower level people are tagging me like, and you identify with Bantus. Don't waste my time. You need to take your ass back over there, fix your shithole community. Come back to me when you have some results, or if you're going to give us some money, because you people, you owe us money. We're going to be getting some money out of you. The mulattoes are owed a debt from you ungrateful savages.
So when you have situations like these with millions of dark skinned people working together towards harming light skinned people socially, physically, professionally, it's accepted as a social norm in the community.
Yeah, it's accepted. It's like normal. Ha ha ha. You dox me. Ha ha ha. You threaten my family. Ha ha ha. They're like, oh, that's normal. That it's all good in the hood. Yeah, that's how they operate. We're like, These aren't my people. I don't deal with these people. They're not paying me. What the fuck?" But you have some of these knuckleheads who want to come around here and be like, oh no, they're good, they're cool, they're blah blah blah. What? They think that's normal. This like bullying tactic or strong arm tactic to try to humble you and like haze you, or they run smear campaigns and like try to humble you. I'm like, bro, like this is disgusting. Who are these people? These are like foreign alien invaders. These are not a part of our group, bro. That's the thing with the mulatto contingent, the mulatto community. We have to be able to delineate from people who are not a part of our group.
I talk about social comparisons a lot, social comparison theory, trying to drive home the point that this is something that Black people will always partake in when they want to feel better about themselves and when they want to feel powerful. Black people would be reluctant to admit this because this behavior has always been reinforced and there are never any consequences for it, even legally, as people outside of the Black community don't know that this is going on. Because
She said people outside the black community don't know this is going on. They do now. They do now more so than ever, especially a guy like me. I've informed many people, different agencies, etc. They're more aware now with the whole like I don't have any children, but it's very common in their black spaces, their little Negro colored spaces. They call CPS on people. They're beefing with, let's say, a woman. Like, they're beefing with a woman on one of their little spaces. They'll call CPS on them, right? That's one of the tactics, the intimidation tactics they use to censor and silence opposing views and voices on social media. So it's like people are more informed now than ever, especially since I've been engaged in social media and I've been documenting, calculating, taking notes, and collecting data. I'm like, yeah, these are the tactics and strategies they deploy to basically smear and ostracize their quote unquote competition or dissenting views. That's it. That's one of the main things they do with the women to try to intimidate them is call CPS on them. It's a Blackistan tactic. It's the blacks who do that. The whites don't do that. The Asians, the Hispanics, they don't do that. If they argue with you, they're not going to jump and try to, dox you and stalk you and find your information and call CPS on you. That is what the blacks do. Okay. Clip it and share it across social media. Yours truly is letting you know this is what the blacks do. That's a title that you people are going to have to live with. That's in your community. That's the scum in your group that does that. They want to intimidate people, so they call CPS on people and try to get, yeah, that's what you people do. You are black identified. That's the scum of your group that does that. Okay.
because everyone on both sides is keeping this a secret. This is like a dark family secret. So IQ and EQ plays a part in this as well. Intelligence plays a part in what people believe and what people understand. Depending on where they're at, they may or may not be fully aware of the truth of the situation, meaning that people are going to have their own biases if they're not intellectual enough to know that certain leaders, this not everybody.
She went over the main points I want to get at. I want to go over. So I'm gonna kind of fast forward through some of this stuff. I'll check out some of your comments and then I'll kind of close this out. I think I've gone over mostly what I want to go over. Let's continue on.
Everybody's going to have the intellectuals who understand that they can be manipulative with what they teach the majority, led by these leaders and whatever it is, or those people, right? Your not war. But I'll say that it is hard to address these issues and remove your personal feelings from it. A lot of these people are also narcissists.
Okay, let's check this out.
Bridled anger and sadism and retribution, which is what we're getting from these YouTubers.
Yeah, sadism. They want to inflict harm, or like I had some fruitcake with the sock puppet account talking about maybe you should face some consequences. Let me, some little queer behind his little troll account. You should face some consequences. Let's see if you face some consequences, right? Like that's the sadism, right? And their weapon they have is the lies, the smear campaign. They have nothing else, right? Or they'll harass your family, they'll dox you and spread public inform or private information, make it public and harass you, right? But it does more to damage them because, like, are they a credible source? And anybody who utilizes that information as a credible source, well, they are going to be basically deemed as irrelevant moving forward. As this conversation grows, as my platform grows, as the space grows, right? And you want to co-sign that information, that saboteur, you know who you are, okay? You little tranny up in Canada, you want to utilize that information and try to make me look like I'm a bad dude or something like this. But it's like, look, you're never going to have the respect amongst the American mulattoes who are in the space as long as I'm here. Based off you co-signing this little queer saboteur. You've already damaged yourself, and you can damage yourself further. That's on you. Because I'm not going nowhere. I don't know what the fuck you losers think I'm going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. We're only getting started.
A lot of these people are also narcissists.
Yeah, narcissists, gang stalkers, and they run the smear campaigns. This is what you're dealing with. They have mental disorders. And it's funny because some of these Fruit Loops, like they want to act like they're in the clinical background and they're able to kind of diagnose people and they want to get into like, but it's always been that way. You've always in the psychiatric field, you've always had people who they themselves have a disorder, but they work in the field to try to help and treat other people with disorders. That is very common. But that's what you have. You have hurt people who are damaged. They had some trauma when they were children. Their daddy touched them because that's what you're dealing with. And then they want to go around here and like basically inflict their own trauma onto other people. They're taking their own little personal issue and bringing it to the public sphere, the public space, which is social media. That's what you're witnessing with some of these characters you run into on social media. And they operate, there's different, mediums. They operate, they have different troll accounts, different aliases and sock puppet accounts. They have different, like, but it's all the same. You look at their strategy, it all ties into the same exact entity.
So the minute you get angry, these people are going to spin the situation and say that you're unstable or you're attacking them. So
Yeah, that's the thing too, is they play the victim Once you challenge them, you correct them, you point out their deviancy and their sadism, then they turn around and claim they're the victim, right? One guy, when I first started, I barely had, I don't know how many subscribers. I barely started on YouTube. One guy posted a picture of my mom on his profile on his YouTube, threatened my mom. Like, okay, screenshot, FBI, agencies, they all got that. And then he tried to turn around and say that I threatened him. Like they just make up shit. They're like, "Oh, well, your mom got involved because you threatened me. Good luck proving that shit." Right? So they play the victim. They know they're in the wrong. They know they fucked up royally. But then they turn around and play the victim. See, that's the type of people you're dealing with when you're on social media and you just want to have a page, a channel, promote other people who are similar like you run into these type of characters. They know they're in the wrong. They're saboteurs, they're narcissists, they're gang stalkers, they're doxers, right? But then you catch them, you correct them on what they've done, then they turn around and play the victim. But it's like you've done dirty by too many fucking people. There's too many people you've done dirty by. you know, it's very embarrassing. Like, and you look at the people for me, it's like how many people that I've done dirty. I mean, you have the people who are just mad because I make I use a slur or a reference that's bad. That's the worst they can say about me is you said a bad word, Mulatto Vanguard. You called me Pookie's leftovers and a biracial baby mama. Like that's the worst they can say about me. you know, that I said a bad word. But you got people out here threatening people's families. Like we got all the receipts. I've been collecting receipts for 3 fucking years of some of these characters. It's insane the amount of shit and they're still out here acting crazy. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
A lot of this is coming from the other end of the colorism conversation, from the majority. So anger is not always the best route. If you're trying to take a different route when it comes to this colorism thing, it's not very well received. And that's frustrating in the person they leave. There's also a lot of infighting, light-skinned men versus light-skinned women.
She talked about the infighting, the gender war stuff, which really got to nip it in the bud. And what it is, how we can do that is we have to identify the women who are lesbians who are competing with the men for access to women. Where it's like for me, when I started this content, I kind of wanted to just connect with men, you know, no homo, pause, no homo. It was just, I've already noticed that the women already have a voice in the mixed race discussion on all the platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, like the whole golden sphere. It's like all these spaces that the women already have their voices, they have their channels, they have their audience. And when I started out with the YouTube, this page, I was like, look, I am speaking from male perspective. We need more men to finally grab their balls, get some balls and build something and be proud of who they are and encourage other people, develop fellowship, mentorship, etc. So I started out like that. But it just so happens a lot of women just they like the masculine energy, they gravitate towards the channel, they support, they like the message. So a lot of my supporters are women, but I started out, I wanted more to give a voice for men. But what she's mentioning is about the gender war is we have to be careful because there's a lot of women who do support me, right? But the women who are my ops who don't like me, they're gay, they're lesbian, or they're bisexual. Like that's the common theme that I've noticed is that you do have in these mixed spaces, or she can, whatever she wants to say, light skin spaces. We can say MLS, mixed light skin spaces, which whatever. We're speaking on those terms now for this stream, but there's like a lot of bisexual or lesbian women who are competing against men for access to women. That's the elephant in the room that people don't want to talk about. That's been my major theme that I've seen doing this content. In a lot of some of the bisexual women have kind of made it they've made it not difficult, but it's kind of been an annoyance where they did try to slander my name, paint me as a racist, or paint me as like misogynist or something like this. And it's like these are women who are same sex attracted. They're bisexual or lesbian females who don't like the mulatto vanguard. That's it. Like, so we have to be careful because when you talk about the gender war, it's primarily that. It's these females who are lesbian or gay or bisexual, and they look at men as like competition. So they want to argue with the men to get access to the women. And you have that in black spaces. You have that in other spaces on YouTube or social media with other people for sure. But it doesn't get talked about that much within like the mulatto space. I'm saying mulatto now because like I'm saying, the people who are my opposition, which I don't think is that much, but they are there, like, and they're female and they want to represent the women and all this stuff, but they're like bisexual. Like they're attracted to women. And a lot of people, they're not aware of that. That's the thing. Like they try to pretend they're, that's why there's this concept of coming out. You guys know that? It's coming out because a lot of these LGBT people, they're in the closet. They're hiding because they know society, it's not socially acceptable. They're hiding, very sneaky. They're hiding their intentions. So they're in the closet, right? But that's where that beef, that kind of animosity comes from. I've noticed that. And they try to pretend like it's a gender war. It's not a gender war. Like I've always said, I'm nothing without the mulatto women. They're complementary. They're basically, without them, we're nothing. We can't exist. We can't continue on as mulatto people. We need the women. That's always been my position from day one. But you do have bisexual, okay, mulattoes or whatever, lesbian mulattoes or whatever, biracial, where it's like they look at us as competition because they just want the women to themselves. They want to separate the men and the women. That's a major thing that's going on in these spaces. If we can include the light skin now, because you have this one dumb Nigerian skin bleaching Bantu, right? Enlightened Beauties, who's another one. I'm going to say her name drop, who's just came out as a lesbian a couple months ago, which I already knew. We all knew that. On her channel, she's promoting Asian women. She's saying Asian women are better than black women and better than light skinned black women. They're more feminine. But now she's like pro light skinned black, fucking fraud. So you have someone like her who just came out as lesbian. We already knew that. Like that's been the constant theme we've seen in this space, in the MLS or Golden Sphere or Mulatto space. There's a bunch of fucking lesbian predators who are pretending to be straight and they're competing against men to get access to women. That's what she's referencing when she's talking about the gender war. There is no gender war with straight men. With the straight men know that the women are essential. They're part of this equation. We have to work together. We just have to delineate between these LGBT people who want to fuck up our entire operation. That's it. This is not going to end right now. This discussion, this little live stream, we're going to be talking about this for the next friggin' 10 years because not enough people talk about this. And as long as you allow these people to fester on and fuck up our operation, that's what's going to happen.
Female competitiveness and cattiness, all of the regular stuff that happens really, even in other parts of this platform. Some people prefer not to be a part of that drama though, and they'll stop making content. Too dramatic over here, too much drama. People have left because of the drama. So these are all reasons.
Yeah, she said people have left because of drama, but new people come in. That's kind of the blessing. That's the good part about it. Yeah, people leave and people come in. So it's nothing new.
Reasons why light-skinned people do not last long on this part of YouTube. I encourage light-skinned people who feel strongly about what's going on with this colorism thing to create your own channel. I encourage the light-skinned people who do have existing channels to keep at it. And thank you. And I also want to thank my supporters. I don't think I ever do that.
Yeah, I think that's basically it. I'm gonna drop the video in the description and comment section so you guys have access to it. Check it out. You put, there is nothing to discuss. This is a mixed race space. If you aren't biracial or mulatto identified, this isn't a place for you. Yeah, you said it. You said it, Al. I blocked that guy. He's just another one of these kind of random trolls who hop up in here and try to basically get us off our square. Enough is enough with the policing of others' identities. Mulattoes are black, white, mixed. I'm not one, but kudos to you for taking a stand. I too don't allow anyone to police the identities of my kids. Yeah, and yeah, for sure. Shout out to you. I think you're a colored person. You said stuck up colored. You're a South African. Yeah, it's good. I love seeing your guys' channels pop up. You had, I think, Mixed Spice. I think her name is the channel. She's colored. You have Elroy Swartz. You have Introverted Smiles is colored. I'm so thankful and happy that colored people like found my content. And the beautiful thing is that because you guys speak English, you guys speak Afrikaans, right? In English as well. So that's why it's good. The content can relate to you. It's just I do want to reach more Pardos, but there's a language barrier, right? They're Portuguese in Brazil, and the connection is Beatrice, which is a blessing because she's like the largest platform with the Pardo consciousness. She developed the whole concept Partuj to develop or to express their kind of plight. So I'm so thankful for that woman to kind of reach out to me and to connect with her, Beatrice. And I want to build upon that relationship with her and other Pardo people. But yeah, the language barrier is significant. We got to speak Portuguese. I got to learn Portuguese more to connect with them to build that network. But I think it's easier, yeah, with the colored people because you guys already kind of speak English. So easy to connect with you guys. And that's a blessing. I'm very thankful for that. And just doing my part. I'm just doing my part. I'm one guy out here, one guy with a voice. My goal is for other people, for their voices to be amplified, and more people are going to start speaking about this stuff. I'm going to end the stream now, guys. If you guys like it, hit the like button. If you guys really like it, share it and post a comment when the video is done. And let's keep the conversation going, right? So I'll catch you guys next time.